Hello, hello, everyone. Super excited about this Instagram Live because we have Emily Chanel here. She's going to be logging in. She's going to share her experience of becoming the first fit model pro to qualify for the Olympia. She is in. She is. Let's go. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for coming on. I'm gonna let Emily get in here, and then hopefully my girls are getting on. But
Hello.
hi, it's not like we haven't done this before.
I know. I'm so excited to be back and hang out and see what's going on.
Yes. Okay, we got Swan coming in. We're so excited for you. I want to get the girls in before we start talking, and we got
Okay.
lots of
Hey!
questions. Oh, and I think Liz is popping in. Yay! It's so fun because I was telling everyone, I'm like, Emily literally was like the first one to do this with me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Emily, can you come back on? You won. Like, we need you.
Yes, of course. This is like I think where it started too, and it's like full circle moment.
Yes, we're so excited to have you. I'm gonna just pull up these questions so I have them ready. Cool. All right.
Percent.
So
Give me
Emily,
tonight.
congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I still blush. I'm still so like, this is incredible.
How do you feel? Is the first question.
How do I feel? It's so like surreal. It's very, is this my life? Is this actually happening? But if anything, like I said this on my vlog, it really motivated me like
Yeah.
a lot more than I thought it would. I thought I would be more like, oh, I'm cool. I'm just gonna cruise on in. And now, like, but it lit a fire in me that I didn't even know I have. And now I'm just like, I need to continue doing what I was doing plus 10. That's how it
I
feels.
have
Like it
chills for you. Oh my gosh.
I know, especially next year with the Olympia.
yeah, so it's just like so surreal, but it's like it's not over. I feel like I now have a lot more that I can give and sorry, my dog is
Oh, you're
like
fine.
saying hi. But yeah, now it's just so surreal, but still like now I'm just even more motivated than ever before.
That's so cool. I love having you on here for this because, like, this is the pro chat. We talk about amateurs, obviously, too, but like, this is still the pro chat, right? So I think it's really kind of neat to like have a girl conversation and be like, what does it feel like? And we're kind of like sitting here, like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we
And we're
each
trying
like
to live
hope we'll be in
vicariously
your
through you.
position. We're like,
Tell us more. Tell us all about it.
we're like,
Well, and it was so cool too, because I remember seeing the video of you in Japan a year ago, like waiting to find out if you're going to get your pro card. So then to see you then waiting to find out if you're going to be the first fit model Olympian, it was like chills again.
yeah,
Such a cool full circle moment to just
Yeah.
watch all that play out. And like the fact that you've documented all of it. So then we can go back and watch like what went into that and leading up to it. Because I think people had the misconception with fit model that it's easy. And, we make it look easy. You made it look easy, but it's not. So much hard work goes into it. So it's so cool that you have all that documented that now we can look back on and see our historic first ever fit model Olympian and her entire journey to get there. Like, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
yes,
And
and I
that,
think she
yeah.
inspired a lot of girls to like document more
Yeah.
the fit model journeys like on YouTube. And I know a lot of people get a little bit down about it, like, oh, I'm not getting any like traction. I'm like, you guys just keep going, like just keep posting.
Exactly. And that's the thing is like I did it when I only had like 12 people watching my YouTube in the beginning and I just did it for the one person who was motivated or inspired by it and I still do it for just that one person. It doesn't matter. It's just doing it and also for myself like a way to document the journey, a way so I can go back and be like, wow, I did this. And it's a learning experience. It's not like I knew everything and I wanted girls to learn with me as well because it was new division. There was a lot of skepticism.
Yes. Actually,
That's the right word.
Jen just wrote, she says, thank you for documenting what goes into it. I just watched your 1 week post Olympia video while I was at the gym and it was so motivating. So
Thank you.
there's the one person at least right there.
Exactly. Thank
I was
you,
literally
Jen.
watching one of your videos before we hopped on here, so I'm definitely one of
Yeah.
those people too.
Me too, girl. Me too.
Thank
Actually, it is
you.
fun to rewatch them because I was like looking at mine from last year when I did like the 13 week into my first show. And then honestly, I got a little overwhelmed going into the pro qualifiers. I'm like, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not doing it anymore. But once you get like the vlog camera, it's so much easier. I see why you have one. I'm like, I could record like all the time. This is easier.
And we're all like
Um,
I
officially
finally jumped on board
yeah.
because
Yeah.
I remember Emily had hers in Vegas and we were working out and it didn't feel like you were recording, like it just like we could be having conversation and it's getting everything, but it didn't feel like there's like a camera in my face. So I
yeah.
finally caved and got one. Apparently I'm very late to the memo.
We so
At
I
least you
know.
started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like I know you got it first, and I think I actually reached out to you before. I bought mine in January, and I bought it like right after New Year's, and like I was telling Swan about it, and so I got mine beginning of January. Swan got it end of January, and like Liz like messaged me yesterday. You guys, I just got like this sweet camera. She's
This
like
is
telling
so
us all
cool.
about it, and I'm
You're
like,
like dying.
Yeah, and it's so easy to just connect it to my phone and put up everything and raw content and
yeah.
and yeah.
It's a Pocket 3. Someone asked what it was. Um, it is a little pricey, but I think it's well worth it. And it's just so much easier. And then, like, I don't know. So you say you don't do Instagram much. Obviously, I'm an Instagram girl, but I actually do prefer talking on the YouTube camera. I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
actually like talking in this one versus my Instagram story. So I kind of see what you're saying now. I'm like, oh, I get it. Because it's just like so friendly.
Exactly. And it's like I feel like I'm having conversation and just being authentic, being raw. And with Instagram stories, I feel like I have to pick the music and the caption. And with YouTube, it's
Curate the
just like I
vibe.
post it all out there. I don't care about the angles or anything. And
Yeah.
yeah, so it's
That's
more
what's
for
so
me
cool
raw.
about it though.
Yeah, I like it. We were like kind of joking around. We're all gonna be like with our vlog cameras backstage in
I
Pittsburgh.
I love it. Yes.
We're gonna be like, "You're in my
Yes,
YouTube. You're in my YouTube. You're in my YouTube."
You're like crossovers.
exactly.
So tell us more about Japan and like I watched obviously your journey with the YouTube to Japan and like the backstage moments and everything. Like that moment when you heard that you won, did you like want to throw up or like did you like what do you how did you
I
feel?
I couldn't I couldn't believe I was just like it took me a while to recognize that it wasn't my name called for a second, and then it was like, oh my heart I think stopped for a little bit. And then it was like, oh my gosh, and I just immediately I wanted to like I don't know like run and hide really quick because I was gonna make Ugly cry.
Oh,
Aww.
So I turned around and um because the truth is anything can happen,
Yeah.
like on show, and that's what happened last year in Japan against Angie, so when they called her name, I just remember like smile, and it hurt. I'm not going to say it didn't, it hurt. So when I was last time, a week ago, or now 2 weeks, I didn't allow myself, I think, to get my hopes so high, because
Mhm.
anything can happen in a split second between prejudging and finals. So it's like keeping that confidence, keeping it still tight, and not being like, oh, okay, I can
Yes.
relax now. It was like, no,
Yeah.
I still wanted to show my best for my finals, because anything can happen. So
Yeah,
it
you
was
just
like when
never
it did
know.
happen, it was like, oh my gosh, it's actually happening.
Yes. Yeah, I actually listened. I think it was on Beyond the Stage. I think you were talking about it there where you kind of like mentally set yourself up like I don't know if this is going to happen, but it could happen kind of like cuz you've had those moments in the past. I've been there as well. Actually with Liz, like I didn't know because we were split center junior USA,
Yeah, we
and
had
like
no
I was
idea.
excited I was in split center, okay, because I was like I had no idea
Yeah,
how it's gonna.
same. I was just grateful to be there.
Yeah.
Like top two for the first ever Olympia qualifier.
Oh
What?
yeah, for that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but like I've been in those positions where I'm like, I just missed it. And then like
Mhm.
even at Universe, I did 40 and then 35, and they did 40 first, 35, and I got second and second. So like in open, I'm like, well, who knows? I know I'm split center, so I'm gonna get a card because it was two for first and second. I'm like, whatever. So when I got first, like I kind of looked like I didn't have much expression because I've been training myself that I could lose.
Because
Yeah.
it's so hard when you're standing there to not, because you just feel that like weight when they call you for second. It's,
Yeah.
I don't want to say
Yeah.
the word, but you know what
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
Well,
And
like
so,
training yourself for that, like
yeah, to not express that is so hard because it's that raw emotion.
yeah, because it is hard. Like, because you like obviously you want to go in confident. We do talk about that on here. Like you want to go in confident. I'm here to crush it. But you also need to still like train your mind to be okay with like not winning and like also just like be okay,
That's
set
such a
yourself
big
up to be
thing.
ready.
Yeah, that's why it's like being resilient in this sport, just keep going, keep doing it. That's a huge thing. Like I know and I believe that I can win the Olympia. I believe
Yeah.
that. And it doesn't happen. If it happens, this year, next year, 4 years or 5 years, but I'm just gonna keep going and keep going because I believe in myself that I can do it.
Yeah, you got to
But
believe in yourself.
Well, and
you
if you
have to.
didn't believe that, what are you doing here? Like you have to
Exactly.
feel
You
that
have
way
you
about
have to
yourself.
believe that. Everyone has to believe that and believe they have it. And I think we all do to a certain extent, definitely. And with the show, it's like it was either gonna happen or the next one. But so when it happened, it was very like, wow, it's actually happening now. Not in my third show or my fourth show or fifth show, but it's the first one. So it was like very shocking to
Yes.
me because I knew it was gonna happen, but it was like, which show would it happen at? You know what I
Yes.
mean? If
Hmm.
that
Well,
makes
we
sense.
were very happy when it was
Yeah,
between you
we
and
were.
Gabby. We were very content. And I think a lot of people are just happy that there's clear delineation between bikini and fit model now. We think you're a great representation for fit model. And I will tell you, I speak to a lot of bikini amateur athletes and a couple bikini pros, and they're like, I'm really happy that she won
Thank you.
because now I know where to go. Like so many were like in this like limbo, like the bikini athletes. And I'm like, I was looking at them, I'm like, you got a lot of muscle. No, I think, fit model, I'm like, oh, you could try. But like I hated seeing them like waste time like over long periods of time just ripping off muscle. And now they did, which is fine. And now they're like, well, I'm actually going to bikini. I'm like, that's fine. That's cool. Respect. Because like I think it's good to kind of just see like and understand the division better because you're a good representation for it, I think. Like it's clear. You're a fit model and then there's bikini. And I love it. And I think it made fit model pros feel really good too, because we were starting to feel like, oh no.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were all
That's
anxious, just
yeah.
getting ready for the Japan show, and I think all three of us had you in our top spots between you and Gabby. I
Yeah,
think
you were
we
in
also
our
had
top.
you.
And that's the thing too, when I was going into it, like there's some bigger girls here, So that was
Yeah.
a concern. And at the end of the day, I think I even said this in my vlog, like, to me, like fit model isn't about being the biggest, it's about bringing balance and the routine. And I was gonna bring it in other ways than having that muscle. And I still pumped up backstage. If you saw me backstage, I was going at it. I was doing lat pull, like lats. I was pumping
We
shoulders,
could
my
see the pump
glutes.
though. It looked
Yeah, you
really
looked
nice.
great.
Yeah, they were
But I
popping.
still pumped up. And I feel like that's, if you aren't pumping up backstage, then maybe, you're kind of still in that in between because I still pumped everything up. I wanted to pop a little bit, you
Yeah.
know?
No, I think it's great. I think a lot of people have conclusion now. And I think like a lot like closure. Like a lot of people are like, okay, this is good. I know where I am now. Like I
One
know
way or
which
the other.
division I'm in now. That like people are happy because they're like, okay, I know either direction which way I need to go. And like in the 2025 girlies are feeling good because they're like, Becky literally said that. She's like, 2025 pros, we told you guys not to worry about it. You are what we wanted. And just keep going. Like she's like, this should just reinforce it. And I know us girls, we talk all the time and we're like, okay, we like the more coverage suit. Like it just looks good. Like you had like perfect
Perfect.
coverage and like everyone's glutes looked better. Like I did a comparison of a Brazilian to a regular and I'm like, oh, I actually look better in the regular versus the Brazilian.
I
You
literally
know,
got more coverage on my suit after seeing yours. I was like, oh, okay. I guess it actually does look really good.
Yeah, we're
yeah,
on the coverage train now.
Hmm.
yeah, like we kind of were like, oh, this actually looks better. Like some of it, because when we were watching the live, there was some girls that had a little bit less, not illegal, but like a little bit less. They actually didn't look as full. So
Mhm.
it kind of worked against them. And we were kind of like, oh, okay, like we get it now, because we were trying to go a little smaller.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were
I
trying to push
bikini
it.
bited backstage. I actually had Adam bikini bite myself
Yeah.
backstage just because I was scared it was gonna go up, so.
And we did hear there was one girl, her suit was too small, and that they told her we're even giving her feedback because her suit was too small. It was actually too small on the top, and it was too low in the bottom, like too low in the front, and that was her feedback.
Oh wow.
So
Well,
they
I'm
were.
glad that they're setting that, and putting that first, because if they would have let someone with a smaller suit, I think the whole internet would go wild.
Yeah, so Adam, Bikini in the Brain, I listened to today, and he actually said that he thinks so. Like everyone in the top 10 had like the right suit. He thinks like they're just going to keep reiterating this because there's plenty of people there that are following the criteria, and they're not going to pick someone that had a smaller suit, like probably like because there's that many enough good girls there, right?
Yep.
So all of them in the top 10 had the right suits, and
You
you don't
got to
want to
weed them
count
out at
yourself out
some
if you have a
point.
small suit.
When
Was
there's
that?
that many pros on a pro stage, you have to have some factor to weed people out. And like Emily, when you look at your entire presentation, there was nothing that didn't match the criteria. The routine was on time, the glam was on point, the tan was on point, the suit was on like everything. If you go down the list, the muscularity,
Muscularity,
the conditioning,
balance. Yeah.
insane, like literally on the money. So it's like they literally, I mean, in any division, they weed out that way. But in fit model, we have very clear criteria where it's like they can immediately write you off if you're up there in a bikini thong.
Right.
So
Yeah, right. Because that's what happened to that poor girl. So she's gonna try again, and she posted it. I mean, she was open about it, which I think was great. And they still were honing in on girls with too big of shoulders. That was a lot of feedback still. And they're like, Sandy's like, you got to bring the shoulders down, or just don't pose them so hard if you have big shoulders. And the conditioning, I think, was one of the biggest factors. A lot of the girls that were too conditioned were in the third call out. So, I
Yeah,
thought it was
and I
fun.
actually think I push conditioning too. I just naturally, like, no matter how hard I try, I cannot get those crisp tie-ins as much as I
You
want,
didn't need it.
so
Yeah, I
I
think it was
wish,
perfect.
but I cannot. And
I think it played in your favor.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really good. Like your whole physique was just balanced and it came in just at the right level of conditioning, I feel like.
Yeah, you have like a great top line into the small waist, into your legs. You're not too dominant in any area. You're not too dominant in your shoulders. You're not too dominant in your quads. Your glutes are fit your physique. Like your waist is tiny. Like, yeah, we're happy. We're like, that's perfect right there. And I
Well,
know
you
Becky
have
was like, all right, you guys just look for that for now, right? Like that's what we have for now. And it's balanced, it's not overly conditioned, it's healthy, it's something someone can work towards. It's more realistic for a lot of girls. Um, and then we know like you can achieve that naturally, which is nice too. I think that's inspiring for many women. So, and your mom
Yeah.
and you work like, I mean, there's like so many positives. We're like, this is great.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys have any questions for Emily specifically? I know I've got a bunch of like generalized questions, but do you guys have questions for Emily?
I guess my main question is what was the feedback, or did they just tell you to stay the same?
So after the show, well, not after, but in between, they did intermission. Sandy came up to me and my coach, and she got me by the shoulders and she said, "Don't change. Stay,
Aww.
That's
remain
feedback, yeah.
exactly the same." And I said, "Really?" Okay.
Aww.
So that was my feedback, to not change. This is great. And um, yeah, that's the goal. And I truly believe, just if I still train hard and still eat right and still do good, you can't grow like 10 pounds in
Yeah.
like a month or 2 months, and so my goal is still to train hard, and somehow I want to be better. I don't know how yet, maybe bringing in my waist a little bit more, like, I don't
but
know,
can you? Is that
some,
possible?
Oh,
because I like the evolution, but yeah, so I'm still, training hard, eating right. Nothing's really changing because it's a maintainable division, something I love,
Yeah.
about this division. But that was my feedback, to not change a thing.
Oh, Sandy.
Okay,
So
my
excited.
question.
Any more shows ahead of the Olympia? I know, because I heard your other interview, but you're on ours. So any other shows?
Yes, yes. So I wanted to do Wasatch and do all of the, like, because it was the first US one and all these, but at the same time I want to watch. I love it. So
Yeah.
I want to watch these girls. I want to, see who else is going to qualify, and kind of go behind the scenes for a little bit. And I'm thinking New York Pro
Yeah.
and Pittsburgh Pro, since it's a week after. Those are two really big shows, very well-known shows. So I already booked everything from hotel, Airbnbs, because we're just gonna stay there in the East Coast for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That'd be
With
fun.
plane tickets. The only thing I haven't booked yet or confirmed was the show entry. But I'm gonna do that this week, I think.
Wow,
So, because I'm
girl.
so committed to doing those two. Before that, I was thinking maybe the San Diego Night of
Yeah.
Champs.
Yeah.
Just because it's in
Yeah.
LA. My family lives there, so my
Yeah.
family can come. And two, that's actually the first ever bikini show I did. So
Oh.
that would be full
That's mental.
circle. I still didn't win my overall. I won, for novice and true novice, first, but I never won an overall. And I would love to just go back to that show and claim an overall,
That's amazing.
for
Yes.
Fit Model Pro, So
That's gonna be
that
a
might be
fun
on my
show.
list.
It's like more West Coast girlies I know that are gonna do that. That's gonna be a fun show. I know Wasatch. These girls are doing Wasatch, so we're excited about that. We're
Yeah.
pushing each other along. We've got a little team here going. You guys go ahead. I'm gonna watch in my bed and I'm gonna relax because it's gonna be my peak week. So everyone's like, "Are you gonna do anything?" I'm like, "Nope. I'm gonna be relaxing because I need to focus for
So
girl
Yeah.
you're
power."
doing the show, it's the following week?
Yeah, doing girl power up the road for me.
Okay.
So yeah, driving
Um,
distance, it's perfect with a little one, and then she can come up the morning of. Like that's how close we are. So yeah, because I need space as a mom. I have a little bit of a hard time with like disconnecting and stress, and I just lose a bunch of my problems. Always like I get too conditioned, and it comes from like stress, and my metabolism is like crazy. So I need to eliminate any kind of stressors, including travel. So yeah, so we've been working, we're looking out, what's winning, and we've been using, obviously your stuff is inspiration for that, and your look, we're trying to like guide ourselves, based upon like the conditioning and stuff. Because I know you came in tighter than Pittsburgh. We had talked about that. That was your plan. So do you feel good about that? I mean, obviously you won, so of course, but do you feel good
yeah,
about
I do. I feel good. And it was crazy because when we went to Japan, everywhere you go, you walk so much. So I actually lost like 3 pounds or something overnight. And it was crazy. I was like 106. I was like, what?
Oh my God.
And I was scared I was gonna be too lean. So we were like filling me up, trying to make me like
Wow.
eat so much food. But I was so nervous I was going to be too lean, and I was like, and I
Yes.
guess I still wasn't. That's how, I guess with Fit Model, I think I don't know. I feel like because you remain natural, you don't take
Yeah.
it, you don't get
Yeah.
that hardness.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We
Even if
talked
I
about that
were to
also.
get leaner a little bit, I feel like I still wouldn't have that hardness or density in my muscles. Um, which I think that's kind of going to separate a little bit with Fit Model and bikini is that density. Because if someone gets leaner and they have that density, you can't get leaner. You have to stay a little bit softer, in my opinion.
No, you're right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, because I'm far shorter than you, and at 106, they're like, you need to be fuller, and I'm like, I could see it. Like I compare pictures now. I'm like, who, what? Why was I so shredded up
yeah,
there? But like, I don't look good at 106. I'm like, no, no, no. So we're like way heavier right now, like 6 pounds heavier, and my coach is like, cool, we're gonna maintain here. I'm like, maintain? This is wild. I'm gonna be up
oh,
to
that's
big.
awesome. Yeah,
But
that's
I feel
awesome.
like it matches the conditioning, and I feel like that's where I always missed was that conditioning level, because I do have a little bit more density from years of this, and I'm older, and you just have to kind of come in a little bit heavier and fill out those muscles with the carbs and stuff. And Swan talks about that too, because Swan competes around the same weight, and we're just like, we get a little whittled, but we're natural too. So like, I definitely didn't put 6 pounds of muscle on this year.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's so hard to do that. Like people be like,
That'd
"Oh,
be
I don't want to
cool.
be too big and I don't want to lift heavy."
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't I it's funny because guys who want to be that big and lift heavy, they are not even getting as big as they
I think my
want.
husband gained
Yeah.
like maybe a pound this year.
Yeah.
He's like, Britt, I think you're good. I'm like, oh, I think my muscles are just filled out now. Like it
Yeah,
took
it just
that
gives
long.
fullness to the muscle. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny because I'm like, I was like messaging them today. I'm like, do y'all think I could put too much muscle on? They're
We're all
like, no.
about it. Like, no, no. We
When
start.
y'all talk about these low 100 numbers, it blows my mind. I'm like,
Yeah.
God, I still feel fat, like really bad.
And yeah, that's the thing coming from the bikini background. My bikini stage, going on stage like after like peak week and carbing up, it was like 106, 105. Like that was it. So I was getting
Yeah.
so lean and I still wasn't conditioned enough and I still needed more muscle. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's forever the problem for a lot of us that came from bikini is we could never get that shredded look, especially if we're natural too. So fit
Because
models.
we lose the muscle as we're
Yeah.
in a calorie deficit, as we're doing, cardio, like there's nothing there really holding it, so.
Yeah.
Someone just someone said someone that's 5'6" and listening to your numbers is wild. Yeah.
Well, I'm
You know,
5'3" and I'm not close to that, if that makes them feel any better.
yeah, Liz is how much do you weigh right now, Liz? 118?
118, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
But
sounds
Liz,
about right. Because I was, for Pittsburgh, I went 113 and I'm
Okay.
5'3".
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm also 5'3". So that makes sense. I think just Japan with all the walking I was doing and moving, and I came in a little bit maybe more leaner, but it worked out. So I was like, cool, okay.
Yeah.
And I love that too. I love coming in just a little bit tighter.
Kayla said I'm 120 on stage. Kayla, how tall are you again? I know she's in the D class, so over 5'6", I think. Everyone's put their weights in. All right,
I
and
know.
just remember the weights are like variable based
I
upon
can't
like
see
your
the comment.
Yeah.
structure, your breast implants, like whatever you got
Dang.
going on. Nancy's
I'm gonna
5'4".
start
Like
blaming
we're
my
getting numbers
implants.
thrown here,
2
but
pounds.
like I'm 5'7". Kayla's 5'7", 120.
Okay, that's tall.
So
Yeah, I
like
feel
I mean
bad.
it's just so variable,
You know,
right? Like
so many people kept asking me how much Gabby weighed. I'm like, I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
I have no
Gabby's
clue. But like a lot of my tall posing clients were like, how much did she weigh? How much did she weigh? I was like, I don't know. She has a lot of muscle on her though. I mean, like she does a lot of like powerlifting
She
movements. That girl
does
is,
have a lot of muscle, and that's
yeah.
something about Gabby. She's very balanced.
Hmm.
She's very, very balanced, and she has great muscle everywhere. It's not just like one
Yeah.
place. So that's what I noticed backstage. I was like, dang, she's got great glutes, but she has great quads and great shoulders. That she's very balanced with a lot of muscle. So she looked stunning. She was definitely someone I was worried about, obviously.
When you see them
And even
backstage and you're
James
like,
said it
oh
too. Like,
shit.
yeah, she looks really good, and she looks stunning. I'm excited to see
what's next?
her.
What's next for her? I think her conditioning was definitely different than Junior USA, but like in a good way. I think it was more fit models. She was a little bit harder at Junior USA. I don't know what her feedback was. I know it was to bring her quads down. Before, not now. So she did a good job with that, I think too. She softened those out. And
I've heard James say on an interview that her feedback was she needed fuller glutes. So this might go back to the suit bottoms, the cut, because I
yes,
hers were a little bit just. So I wonder if they were like this. You
Hmm.
know what
yeah,
I'm trying
she
to
had
say?
reached out to me. It was, I think, some of that because I was looking at her suit bottom and I'm like, oh, I was looking at it, and she goes, no, I like the original suit bottom. So
We know Gabby has great glutes, which obviously so do
She
you.
has
I mean,
yeah.
you
great
have
glutes.
very full glutes too. So standing next to that and the suit being off could just, offset it just that much.
Yeah, and then sometimes just stressors, you get a little bit drier, you lose a little bit of fullness, sometimes hydration, and there's so many factors to getting like flat because I've had them all.
Yeah.
I always I always get way too like hard and flat or whatever. So, but like yeah, everyone's still writing like their stage weights. Like just remember competition weight's so much different still, even for fit model. I don't walk around at 112. I mean, could I? Maybe because I am fuller. Like I would never walk around with the weight I went pro in. I really had to push myself to get down there, but I had a different body to start. Like I had more body fat and my body composition was I had a lot more in my waist. I was an inch and a half bigger in my waist, so I had to pull down so much harder to get that waist to be small. Now my waist is the same size, but I'm 6 pounds heavier. So now I'm like, oh, cool. Let's just stay here then. Because it was the waist at the end of the day, right? So like try to take these weights and stuff with grain of salt because it just really depends on your body composition and how you look at the end of the day. We're not, a men's division where we have to weigh in and stuff like that. Actually, speaking of feedback, Liz got to speak to Angie with her feedback. Liz, do you mind? She said we can share it. We asked.
Yes, yeah, she did give us permission to share. Angie was told no more muscle. That was what she was told. Do not put on any more muscle. So
We were like, okay, I know Emily, you were told no more muscle, like even in December. But do you think they're trying to like minimize muscle, or do you think it's based on each person? What do you guys think?
I think it's based off of each person. And the reason why is Angie and I have very different glute insertions. She has really
Yes.
long glutes.
Yes.
So I think they project a little bit more
They do.
than mine do. That's why I think it's per person on how the muscle looks on you. Um, yeah, because that can play a factor. But also, I think she can still train, still train hard and still show up. And because she's also, I believe, natural. I mean,
Yes.
so
Yeah, she is, I think. And then Shayla just wrote that Angie also was told that she needs to be leaner. And then someone said, kind of sad we were capping out in that way. Well, I think it's not really capping out. I wouldn't say.
Abby got second, and she's really dense. So I think it's more of what works best and looks best on your body.
And you can do
Yeah.
things to manipulate the look. I almost wonder if feedback was worded a certain way so people didn't feel the need to look at enhancements as a solution, because there's things that you come in tighter, you look bigger, like you look like you have more muscle almost because you
Yeah.
can see the definitions of everything, things look sculpted out, so I think there's ways that you can. It's always important, and obviously I wasn't there. I'm sure Angie got more in-depth feedback than what I just repeated. But that's why it's important to ask a lot of questions when you are given that feedback. And I think Sean Carla talked about that a little bit when someone was like, "Oh, you need better conditioning." That was their feedback. But does that mean that you need more muscle to then have better conditioning? There's so many different ways that could mean. Or does that mean you just need to be a little tighter and then you have the right amount of muscle? It's very dependent. So it's important to ask very specific questions when you get your feedback. I think that can be manipulated. And maybe if she did come in tighter, she would look like she had more muscle. So maybe she won't need more. We don't know.
Yeah, and fullness is the same thing, right? So fullness can mean you literally are flat, or fullness can mean you need more muscle.
Yeah.
And I had to keep asking those questions, right? And I think still I know for bikini, fullness meant more muscle, right? And then for fullness for fit model, I think it was a combination of both. Because I had a judge who goes, you literally could just keep training like bikini. He goes, you would benefit from just growing everywhere. And I'm like, okay.
and that's key too, is balance. That's, I think, the biggest key with fit model is going to be balance, because I can make my shoulders look big if I didn't train bicep, tricep, even forearms. I started doing that. I'm not just training shoulders and glutes for that
Yes.
projection. I'm training everything now, even
Same.
calves. I incorporated that. And
Yeah.
that's the key, is staying balanced, because if I'm
Similar.
not,
They love
then
calves.
Swan and I are obsessed with calves.
They're-
I actually low key was over. Oh, I think I'm overdoing. I had to pull back this week. I'm like, okay, my calves are starting to hurt. I was
Your
doing 3 times
calves
a
look
week.
great, by the way, Emily, at Japan. So good job.
you think so? Thank you.
Well, I noticed them.
Oh, Swan and I,
It was
we
perfect.
zoom in on
No,
calves. We're like
no
this.
part stuck out. I think that's the thing with the balance, is you don't want a body part to stick out more than
Yes.
another. And I think
Exactly.
this is perfect for that show.
Yeah. So when Lindsay Blackburn said feedback is also just one more piece of data from one judging panel at a time. 3 shows in a row, you could get 3 pieces of different feedback. That's true, because even Swan had her pictures up from 3 shows actually. And she was showing the judges at the workshop, the women's workshop, which are all very great judges, right? We know judges that were at the women's workshop are top notch. And they all had different views of her conditioning. Sandy liked her a little softer in the middle. And then a couple of the other judges liked her a little bit more conditioned, she won her pro card in Olympia. And I know Florida, when she competed, that was the softer look. They didn't reward that. They liked a little bit harder. So you do, and they say this in bikini too, you kind of got to know what that panel kind of tends to lean towards sometimes. Because I know I was told to be leaner in Florida. I'm like, bro, how much leaner do you want me to be
Well,
for fit?
also your lineup matters, because this is
Yes.
when we were making our predictions. I was like, okay, depending on who's moved to that center is going to depend on who my top 3 are. Because if they move Emily in, it's going to be a more refined top 3. But if they move somebody like Jane in, then it's going to be a bigger top 3. It just depends on who they are curating that look around. And I think we watched them curate the look around Emily. And then there was people from the top 5 where we could be like, okay, that compares to Emily, that compares to Emily, because they moved you in and you stayed there, and they moved everybody else around you, and that's, if you watch shows enough, you see that's how things play out. So it just kind of depends on who that person is that stands out, whether it's in the first look or if it's in presentations or what, and then everything else kind of moves around that.
Yeah, and I think Gabby's conditioning, because she did soften out in a positive way, she matched better to you versus she showed up at the Junior USA look. She actually would have been like probably back to the other, a little slightly more
I think she would have
conditioned.
looked too big too. I think she would have been too full
Yeah.
almost.
That's a really good
Yes.
point. That's why I love these bigger shows and prefer these bigger shows because it really gives where we stand. Like the Olympia is not going to be, I don't think, a small show. There's going to be at least 15, 20 girls doing it. And to me, that's pretty big. And same with New York Pro, Pittsburgh Pro. These are bigger shows. And that's why I prefer them because it's giving a whole range on exactly, they can pinpoint what they're looking for.
Yeah,
So
I think
that
it's
was
great.
a big plan to go to Japan because I knew it was going to be a huge show. Like all of these announcements, and so I was like, I need to go to this big show and see where I stack among this wide range of different fit models.
Yeah, and that's why I think a lot of people are happy too. There was a big enough pool to kind of get that like general look within the top like 6 to 10 of like what fit model looks like, and it was it, everyone looked similar in a way, right? Like it was all similar criteria, like it matched very well, and I think a lot of people are happy about that, and it just gives everyone better direction for the year. So obviously everyone's amazing that went to Japan and was a part of that, and I think it's incredible that you guys all went to Japan and did that, and we're excited because there's going to be so many pro shows with so many girls. And um Kate for plates, did you guys get feedback on posing like too many hand arm movements? Did you get docked any points if you went over 10 seconds? I'm not sure if this is directed at Japan or like in general. So I guess start with Japan. I know Emily, your posing was on par, but like, did you get any feedback other than going, don't change anything?
I
No,
didn't get any feedback. I wonder if some people, if they went over, if they got any feedback. I would be curious to see that conversation or just know about it. But I'm pretty sure, like, if you're not meeting the criteria, then it needs it. I don't think that would get rewarded. I feel like it'd be the opposite.
yeah, I agree on that. Becky did say, like, because they were in a group chat like the whole time, and she did say, like, she's very happy everyone followed the criteria, including like the posing, like length, and included the suits, included the conditioning, included the muscularity. Like she just said everyone nailed it, right? That placed well. So I didn't hear anything about people's posing except for adjustments on posing. I do know a couple girls reach out to me like, hey, they said my posing needs work. I need some adjustments. But no one had said anything about length of time. It didn't look like they were like rushing people either, but it looks like for the most part, like 98% of people followed the guidelines.
Yeah.
We do have some questions that were like asked on the outside of this. So favorite color bikinis from the Japan show. Do you guys have any favorite colors?
Oof. I'm like trying to jog.
That's hard. There were 47 people to pick from. I like Arum, her color, that light blue that she wore, just because it was unique.
Wait, who?
Arum's song, I think
She
she was
plays
for
six.
Olympia.
She's like one of our favorite pro
Yeah.
bikini girls at Swish.
Oh,
Mind you,
yes.
I
She
just got a
looks
swatch
great.
similar to that color
Oh
because I
yeah.
was like, I
Okay, so
like
there's
that.
this joke. Okay, because Emily, you were busy winning, so we had a live and we were kidding, and we were like, I was like, oh my gosh, Liz, that's you from the front, Swan from you the back. So like that's their dual
like a
twin.
like a little hybrid of us.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Isn't that funny? I'm like, yeah, you missed it because you were busy.
She had a lot going on.
um, Someone said like a posing question. Twisted. Okay, so do you prefer twisting to show a teeny waist? Then the quads look big, or a little bit more front on and hide some quads. So what do you guys think on that? Obviously, I'll give you one of my thoughts, but what do you guys think? Should they
I
twist a
think
lot
that
and give more quad, or should they twist a little bit and be a little bit more forward with a little less quad?
just dependent on your body,
I'm like,
really.
do they have too much quad? Is that a problem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if this person has too much quad,
I
but
would
like,
say the balance on the person's body, like what fits them. Like it's really hard to pinpoint exactly like this is how you do it. It's like no, everyone's so different
So
and
individual.
individual. And I think the key though is not over twisting. I
Like we
feel like that one I can say in general is just not over twisting it because if you want to look naturally, shaped and not like you're trying too hard either, because I don't think that might be rewarded. So I'm thinking just it should look natural. It shouldn't look overly posed in my eyes, and it just person dependent on their muscle and their shape and even their
I
height, I think.
Yeah, I agree on that. It should just be really based upon like how you are built and if you are balanced or not. And because I know some people try to like get in my front pose, which is a little bit different. I'm like, nope, don't like it.
Looks
I don't
awful
like it
on
on you.
me.
I'm like, no, just don't do it. It just doesn't
Yeah.
look good. But I also don't look in whatever they were doing before. I'm like, I don't like that on me. Like you still have to like make it match for you and like bring that best like balance. How
I
much
think a
upper
lot of
glute?
an error too with the front pose. So if you experiment with different stances, you'll be able to figure out better what fits for you.
And I
Yeah.
do think like as your conditioning comes in for fit model, and I'm sure we've all experienced this in the off season trying to get that pose down, and it's just like it just doesn't look right. But when that conditioning comes in and the weight, it's very waistline dependent. When that waistline comes in, it's like you kind of just stand there. It gets to a point where it's not very like hard. You shouldn't be having to like twist and manipulate too much.
Yes.
Obviously, it's still a pose, but like if it does feel like very forced, like you can't like breathe in your pose, then we should probably reconsider this and move around because I mean, like we saw with Emily, you were up there for a minute being compared and you just had to stand there and hold it. So if it's something where it's like you're vacuumed up and you can't hold it for I mean probably what like 4 to 5 minutes on stage. I'm sure it felt like a lot longer, but it needs to be something where it's manageable for long periods of time.
Yeah, Emily, are you a little bit more forward or you do have like a slight hinge into the anchor leg? I feel like you have a very minor twist into the your stance leg.
My back leg, my
Yeah.
right. Yeah, so I put most of my weight on my back leg. That's where all
Yeah,
my weight
and
is.
it's like a small rotation
A
to the back.
small rotation,
Very
yeah.
minimal though. Yeah.
Okay, wait. I did have a question for Emily because we were making predictions because your waistline's crazy. Your waistline's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, we want
I
to
was
know
thinking
your
like,
waist
I want to know
size.
how many inches your waistline is because I was like, she could have a freaky like Issa Panichi waistline, and I would believe it if you were like, oh, it's like 18 inches. I'd be like, oh, okay, makes sense.
No, I wish. It's crazy. My waistline would get down to 19 inches for bikini. So when I did bikini, it would go so small. But I was surprised. I'm actually 20.5. I actually
Okay,
measured
that's
it.
very
So
small.
Insane.
it's
But
still small.
here's the thing though. So like I'll use like AI a little bit and play with my stuff sometimes just because I get bored on treadmill. And I'll say like, hey, like here's my picture from last season, here it is now. And it goes, your waist actually looks smaller, even though it's the same because you added width to your
Ooh.
shoulders. So like I think it's a visual thing for you because you have added some size. Actually, Adam from Bikini in the Brain did say that. He goes, Emily's
See?
put yeah, he goes, she's put some size on since Pittsburgh. He said that. You have to watch the episode. You start at like 30 minutes.
Oh,
But like
wow. Okay.
I was listening this morning and I'm like, oh, this is perfect for my like Emily thing. So he said that you put some size on. But what I think it is like you have had added a little bit added width to your back, which we talk about. I know you probably don't get to listen to all of our stuff, but we talk about back all the time. Poor Liz was told not to train it anymore because it's too much. But once you add so much size to your back, like it automatically makes you have wider clavicles too. Because I don't have wide clavicles. And people are like, your clavicles are wide. I'm like, no, they ain't. I just grew this with my back this year to put me wider. And then the waist looks smaller, but it's actually the same size at 6 pounds higher. But now I have width. So I look more
Mm.
dynamic. And then now, kind of, you were talking, Liz was talking about like off season and like we pose different. Even with my newfound body of my fuller muscles, I'm like, oh, I think I'm actually a little bit more forward, and I'm paranoid about it. I'm like, this feels real kind of forward. But I'm like, I feel like Emily and Gabby stand slightly forward too. And I'm like, because you kind of get in your feels about it.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's
I
just
agree.
slight.
It's an illusion, My waist looks smaller too because I have very wide
That's what
clavicles.
I'm
20
saying.
inches is very small. First of all, I want to give credit to that. 20 inches is still
Really?
very, very
To me,
tiny.
I'm like, I want smaller.
Yeah.
But without being so lean, because to me I love
Yes.
shape, you
It's
know.
very aesthetically pleasing on
You
stage.
got
It's
you
just
got the smallest waist
crazy.
and fit model, I'm gonna say
I
right
mean,
now.
I
yeah.
don't know.
I know. I think we can stamp that. I think we can
Yeah, we're
stamp
gonna
that.
mark it for the year.
Oh no.
Someone said, should you have front glute in the front pose? Like, I don't think so. It depends on the person. Once again, I have some people angle their leg kind of straight down and they have no glute in the front, and I have front glute, but I also have like pretty like that's just how I'm shaped here.
I
Like
like the front glute. I like to see it
I like
personally.
to see it too.
It
I
gives
like that
the
pop.
shape. Yeah,
but
yeah.
they have to have the muscle for it. So like try
Yes.
not to struggle and try to get front glute because then your
You
pose comes
can't pose
way
it
off.
in. I have posing clients ask all the time. They're
Yeah.
like, "How do you get that pop?" I'm like, "That's the muscle."
Yeah,
I'm
you
like, "You
have
just
to
got to
have
grow
that
it."
muscle.
For upper glute development, because that's what shows up in the front pose. If you have that glute pop, it's more your upper glute than your actual lower glute. So you have to have development
Yes.
for it to show.
That's huge in fit
Yes.
model. So upper
Yeah,
glute.
like to like side and upper glute at the same time.
Mhm.
But there are I have posing clients, they're not going to get that because they just don't have that muscle. So like find a pose that still gives you the best shape. And like some people do better with like the old school fit model pose too, where they're leaning
A little
into
more.
it and that leg is a little bit more straight. If they don't have a lot of muscle, I will put them
Yeah.
in that one and it just looks better. They just automatically have a little bit better of a taper and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Well, and
Um,
like, don't sacrifice your waistline to try and show some glute. If it's not there, then don't try and manipulate it because the last thing you want to do is like have a thick looking waistline, even if it's not, just because you're so over twisting to try and show something.
And we are guilty of the over twist, Liz and I. We will tell you guys every episode, do not over twist. It shows your obliques, it shows your low back. Makes you look
It makes you
fat
look
when you're not
thicker.
fat.
It shortens your waistline. And it's so like Emily's an example of that, where she has this nice elongated waistline in her front
Yes.
pose, and it just looks very aesthetically pleasing. Nothing is like crunched down or thick. It's all very like nice and long.
Actually, Loki, I posted a video yesterday. I was like mid carb loading and I was like, let me do my universe posing. And I'm like, yeah, I feel like it needs to be tilted a little more. I looked at it, my arm looked small, and Swat even agreed. She's like, you don't look as balanced. My upper body looked small. I looked like I was crunching in my waist. And I'm like, this
Mhm.
ain't working.
It wasn't just like the
I
angle of
deleted
the
it.
photo too.
Was that Swan?
I had to make sure it wasn't just the angle of the photo that was throwing it off too. When you
Like, I was like rotating it on my phone. I'm like, nope, it's me. Like,
Scrap it.
And that's another thing too is angles on check-ins and pictures and
oh,
that yeah, and that's something that when I posted my like not check I guess check in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks out before Japan, the one that they used to compare me and stuff.
yeah,
That was the last one I did because I didn't want to give the judges higher expectations
yeah,
than what they were gonna get, you know.
I think
yeah.
So
that's
I made
yeah.
sure to just that was it, and I was like, okay, 2 weeks I'm not gonna post because if I keep
That was a
posting.
good end though, girl, because that was a fire. I was like, she gonna win.
oh, we were
But
that
yeah,
screenshot.
because I didn't want to, because I feel like it can create that expectation in the judges'
Yeah,
minds of, wow, they're going to look amazing and amazing. And then when they see you on stage, they're like,
it's like this.
That happened to people. That happened to a couple people actually, and they
Really?
shared that.
Oh
Yeah,
yes, yes, yes. Someone did
Charlie
talk
shared
about it.
that Sandy was like, I thought you were bigger,
Yeah,
and
someone
that's just
did
like
say
social
that.
media is deceiving. It is. Like even like Emily, when you saw me in person, you're like, oh, you're tiny. Like social media makes you look bigger, and that
especially the nicer camera you have,
yes,
the quality of that camera you have, I truly believe it
dude,
makes
I'm
us
like
look
I'm jacked.
bigger, yeah, than what
Really?
we
Now
are. Yeah.
I'm about to find out. I haven't been next to Liz for a minute, so I'm gonna find out this
Well, I
weekend.
was big last time I was next to you, so but I don't think that'll be a problem again. We'll see.
We're laughing because like she got a little bit smaller and I got a little bit bigger. Now we're like in the middle. I'm like, perfect. We're like the same
Now
now.
it balances out.
Let's see if there's any other ones that are cute. Someone just said, I love your chats. Do you prefer we have some of these we've answered before. There's some tan questions. We go ahead and look back at one of our YouTubes about tanning.
I think
Um,
Emily covered some stuff about tanning too, didn't you? About
Yeah,
DIY
I did
tanning.
my own tan. And tan, oh, it was so bad. I'm sorry to say. But I already knew I was going to go into Japan doing my own tan. And I had a teammate who was doing the natural. So the show on Friday and Saturday, she got tan on Friday and it looked really bad. Like it looked so bad that one of the promoter or, yeah, judges had to go and help them, like go backstage and help them with the tan.
no.
And I felt so bad, but it's something that like you never know how they're going to tan, the procedure of it's going to go, and that's going to make a difference. I'm sorry, but that is going to make a difference on stage. um but for this show, because there was so many girls, I don't think it would have, because if everyone has a bad tan, then it plays
Yeah.
out, you know. But now, you know, I did it myself for the first time on a show, and I'm like, I like it, and I love
It
being
was
on my
great.
schedule. I've never done that before, so now I'm like tanning myself because I just,
Nice.
When you can keep your look consistent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's part of that because the tan really it can make or break a lot of things.
I know Jane does her own tan.
and her
Um,
tan was spot on. I
yeah.
actually liked her tan more than mine, but I'm
Yeah.
learning. I'm like, okay, next time do another coat, you know, because
So
her tan was perfect.
It looked great.
So something I like to do, and it kind of is like a hybrid of it, is I do my own base coats, and it does make a big difference because you have that base color dark enough, and then I allow them to do that nighttime Friday or Saturday or Thursday, whenever the show is. The night before, I have them do that, and then the day of the show, I have them do that. But I know that thing's going to be dark enough because I've already put sometimes 2 nights worth of color on me. I look better darker. I have a lot of lines, so I actually have to go a little darker. It does hide lines. So for Universe, I did 2 coats. I did one like, I don't remember, like two, say it was like the show was Friday, so I did it Wednesday and no, I did it Tuesday myself, Wednesday myself, Thursday got sprayed by them, Friday competed, and that tan was just saturated. So I think just doing a combo is also another idea, but definitely take control of it because if you show up, if you're pale, you can look green, you can look muddy, you could look whatever, and you don't need to go tanning before. You don't have to do that. Just put the base coats on. Um, just do the overnight protein and rub it on, rinse it off, and you're gonna be stinky for a little bit longer because you have all that, like those bases on, but it's fine. I think it's well worth it. So that's what I would suggest for tans, and it sounds like we're kind of all on the same page. Um, we got a couple other notes. Oh yes, we can't wait to see you this weekend as well at the Carolina seminar. Liz and I will be there, flying to North Carolina Friday, which is super exciting.
Very
Um, Someone said, do you guys have any like before getting on stage rituals, like thinking mantras, whatever, anything you guys do before you get on stage?
I have a whole playlist, and then I take my anxiety meds and I get out there.
There you go.
I just don't talk to anybody when I line up, so I'm just like silent and in my head and antisocial. Calm me down.
I'm I don't know, I'm weird. So I don't focus on anyone. I don't even watch the girls going on stage before me. I actually focus on like what does it smell like, and I try to smell the tan. And to
Oh,
me, it
They
kind of
ground
grounds me a
yourself.
little bit, so I'm not nervous. And then once I'm on stage, I just look at the judges and I just tell myself a lot of positive and like affirmations, like this is my stage, I'm gonna own it, like this is my time, like, and I just tell myself a lot of positive things, but I really try to stay grounded and smell like what does it smell like? And that
That's a great
I
just
like
because
mindset.
that.
I don't want to focus on anyone else and anything. Like I want to focus on me, my time. So I'm just kind of like trying to distract a little bit because
That's
I can get
That's how you
overwhelmed.
know
I
she's
have
a psych
anxiety.
girly though, because that's like an anxiety calm down thing is like what are like 5 things you can see, 4 things you can smell, 3 things
Yeah.
you can touch. You know what I mean? Like that's like a way to like calm down from panic attacks and stuff. So
Yeah, it's
that's
one
so
thing
Yeah.
here, one
great.
thing you taste, the
Yeah,
five.
yeah.
Yeah. So
You,
for me, it's I try to stay present, and that way I don't let my nerves overcome me. And and that's a trick that if you're ever overwhelmed, just focus on what does it smell like.
I like that.
Super smart.
Yeah.
I am very outgoing. I'll talk to people that are talking to me, that's fine. I'll be pumping up like crazy because I have to, because I'm so small.
No, I'll pump up too. And I even take like a pump drink. I
Yeah.
know some people are like, I don't do that because it might bloat me. I'm like, okay, but what works for you works for you. But I like to take a pump drink a little bit. But once
Yeah.
I'm in line, I'm like, okay, calm because the nerves can show on stage,
Oh
you know?
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
happened to me before where I was like, my glutes were shaking. And it's funny because I think I shaked more when Sandy was here for
Oh,
the Vegas, yeah, to
that's
just
so
just for like
funny.
a seminar that I did on stage. Yeah, I was like
It's so
shaking in front.
intimidating. I don't know what it is about being like more one-on-one because like I know when my feet hit those stairs to go on stage, I flip a switch and
Yeah,
I'm like now I'm a performer, like I'm on the clock. Like I think you talked about when your vlogs, you're like I'm gonna give them a show. Like that's like the mindset. There's like a flip
Yeah.
there for me. in person at seminars though, I'm like shaking like a little chihuahua. Like
Me
I'm like, oh
too.
God, like
You guys are
It's like it's
funny.
so up close and there's no
yeah.
tan. There's, it's like,
I don't have my
okay.
facade on, it's
Yeah.
just
Just like stage, you have like this barrier between you and the judges, so it doesn't feel so personal, and you're just a performer on
you
stage rather.
almost can't even see them because the
Oh,
lights are so
Well, see,
bright.
that's why I like it. I just wear those lashes and I'm like, I can't see you
You're
guys.
like, I
So
can't see
And
anything
I
anyway.
feel plus like when the glam is spot on and your hair is good,
yeah.
it's like that confidence
you're in there.
automatically increases too. So it's like, here I
Yes.
am.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I do like some deep breaths and I do like a couple prayers to like just asking for, calmness, ask for confidence. So that's what I do. I do watch the other girls go on stage because I'm like, okay, let me find out where I go put my feet, how long they taking, and like where do
Mhm.
I go after? Like that's when I start watching just for like because I am such a planner. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna
Makes
go
you
up
feel
those
better
steps.
to
Yeah.
watch.
And I visualize like I know what girl power stage looks like. I've actually been backstage for with a client and I've been on that stage for the women's workshop. So I'm already visualizing exactly those steps and me getting up there, where I'm going to go stand, where those judges are
That's
going to
nice.
be, and I use those techniques and that's like the visualizing techniques of like winning have been proven to be make champions and I've been doing that forever. I
Man,
will
Me
visualize
too.
I'm
stuff
doing
and
my
I'm like,
cardio, like staring off in the distance. I'm like picturing the Olympia stage every time. People probably think I'm a psycho because I'm just like just staring off. But
Yeah.
I
But
put on
that's
that
what,
stage playlist and
yeah, you have to believe in that or, who will? We have to believe in ourselves
yes,
first that we're going to do that. And we have to be a little bit delusional. We have to be a little bit cringe,
it's delusional till it works.
Yeah,
yeah,
because
Sandy talks about that too. She's like, every single one of you need to be confident walking on that stage because you have to be, and she
If
can
you
see it.
wouldn't pick you, why would I pick you?
Yeah,
That
she's
makes
like,
no sense. You're a
yeah,
stranger to me. You should feel better about yourself than I feel about you. That only, makes sense. So,
yeah. And even
um,
like when I'm training, that mindset shift is there. It's like no matter how, and I always think of this quote, no matter how bad I want it, there's always someone else who wants it more, so I have to make sure I want it the most. And
yeah.
I go hard. Like I always make sure I'm going to be the one who wants it the most. And that's my mindset every time I train, even when I wake up doing my
yes,
cardio, like every little thing. So I have
Even
like a crazy mindset when it comes to that, but I'm also like, I train my mind. We have to
It
believe
is
those positive
like
things because if we talk negatively and compare ourselves, that's going to eat us away, and then that's going to not make us even peak well. You
it
yeah,
know?
only helps your competition. It only helps your
Yeah.
competition. But even in the other, like if the positive mindset doesn't work for you, anytime I'm like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to do cardio. Oh, I don't really, or I can have an extra tablespoon of almond butter or whatever. I literally am like, no, my competition would love that. Like they
Yeah,
yeah,
would love
exactly.
to
Yeah, that
know that
competition
I'm not on
aspect.
it,
Yeah.
and then it's just like, I don't want it. I'm good. I'm gonna do my cardio right now. Like there's so many different ways that you just have to build up that like mental fortitude to be able to push through that.
it's like you have
yeah.
mind just as much as you train your body at the gym because both
Yes.
are important.
Yeah, you gotta have the champion mindset. I mean, even like if you're listening and you don't compete, same thing. Like if you're a lifestyle client, you're just working on your fitness goals, whatever your goals are, you could be beyond fitness. You are not a victim. You have full capability of taking care of yourself. You have full capability of making decisions and choices every single day. When you wake up, you make those choices throughout the day. You make those choices. You also have control on your thoughts. So you can allow yourself to spiral or you can catch that spiral and regroup. And honestly, that is such a stressor. And it's something that I was a culprit of spiraling of anxiety. Like I have a really hard time like with parenting. I tell you that. I just I can get very anxious about it all. Like I'm overwhelmed. There's like a lot going on. But if I like continuously think about those things, it just makes all that stress worse. And that perceived stress can play a role on your hormones. I think that's why I had low testosterone for so long. And now it's better and fine, probably why I look fuller. But like all of those thoughts add up and add up to stress. And you do have control like over your nutrition. You make choices. Like you can make that choice. Like, do you really think that whole bag of chips is really going to benefit you? You're looking at it, you start eating it. That's when you snap in and start like paying attention. What do I smell? What do I see? Like, hello, be present because you can find yourself in the bottom of the bag of chips, an hour later, like,
Quickly.
oh
Yeah,
no.
that
And I
protein
truly,
all
yeah,
picked
believe
up
we
with.
are what we tell ourselves in our mind. And there's even like a study, this is crazy, of someone who has multi-personality disorder. And in one personality, he has diabetes. So they check his blood sugar and he actually gives himself, high blood sugar and stuff like that. But then when he's in a different, like a different person, a different character, that's gone. So
Wow.
that's how much our brain can 100% impact our physical, like attitude, I would say. It's crazy. So I'm a huge believer in like the mind is something we have to work on too, not just like the physical aspect when it comes to competing, but our mindset towards competing and being resilient with it, having that champion mindset as well, because sometimes things don't go as planned, and how we get up from that. And that's why I'm always saying like resilient, being resilient,
Yes.
because that's a champion mindset is how we grow from these downfalls and this feat.
In the criteria. So like criteria, feedback. Sorry, when you get your feedback, be okay with getting feedback. Ask for feedback. Take that
Taste like,
feedback,
yeah, yeah.
apply the feedback, and you're gonna be better every time. And like, don't cry about it. Don't be bad. Don't be like, oh no. Like, take that as like a positive because they want to see you do better and to grow in the sport. They're there to help you. At the end of the day, they do this out of passion, like the judges
Yeah.
do, and that's the same thing with champion mentality. Like, if you're just down about it and you don't want to take that criticism and make those adjustments, same from your coach. Like, if the coach being honest with you, which they all should be, and I think a lot of coaches sometimes I see are not honest with their athletes. I'm like, just be honest with them. Like, tell them exactly which division or which shows, or they're not ready to do those shows. Like,
You should be hearing it from your coach before you hear it from social media. Like that
yes,
shouldn't be coming from the peanut gallery and your coach is like, no, you're good. And everyone else is like, no, that's not it. At some point you need to,
yes. Yeah, that was like a side. I'm sorry.
And also too, like going to these seminars. I'm a huge
yes,
fan of going to these seminars. Like
Yes.
we had a seminar here in Vegas, like just a posing clinic, and I went and I posed because I wanted what ways can I
Yes.
continue improving? Like none of us. Oh yeah, this is it. I'm fit model. Like no, like there's still things that I want to improve, grow on. Like I'm not just relaxing. It's like now it's like okay, what are some things that I can fine tune and tweak? And I've watched my posing video like probably like a few times, like
Mm-hmm.
20 times, and I'm thinking like what can I do to make it just what didn't I like, when I'm tweaking it to find ways
Yes.
to improve.
yes. The seminars is huge, even just for your own like personal gain as a pro. Like I'm going to Carolina seminar. A big part of why I'm going though is to go get feedback from pro judges,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
at the Arnold last weekend, I'm looking at the individual presentations and I'm like, okay, I really liked that. I did not like
I
that. And
did
like,
that
then
too.
I
Yep.
take that and I apply that. I literally changed something in my posing and it was
Yeah.
from what I saw a men's physique guy do. Totally like random,
Yeah.
different, but I was like, I really liked that and I could see where these advantages are. He's won 3 Olympias, so there's got to be something right there. But there's just constant room for growth. You just have to go look for it. You just have to pay
Yeah.
attention and just always be a student of the sport. It's just because we're pros now, but just because Emily's an Olympia now, it doesn't mean
Yep.
that we're
That
not just continuously growing and pushing for better. If anything, like you said in the beginning, it's like now I have to push even more. Now there's even more of a pressure and a standard set for me that I now have to rise to. So
Yes, I agree. So you guys, there's seminars coming up, Carolina Pro Seminar this weekend on Saturday. You guys could still get tickets. They're still posting. If you guys are in the area, if you're close by, drive there, fly there. Liz and I will be there with some other pros for Fit Model. And then there's all the divisions are there. A lot of Olympians, a lot of high
yeah,
level
ton
pros.
of
It's going to
pros.
be a good event. And yeah, we are going to get some feedback. Like, we're going to line up and we're asking them for feedback. And then the next weekend, the 20th in Tampa, they're doing NPC official Florida seminar. And then the next one is at Wolf Boca on Saturday. So make sure you guys go because it's all the Florida judges. All those Florida judges are always at the Florida shows. And they are going to do a break off for Fit Model Pros. So if you're pro listening in Tampa, I requested, hey, can you put us all in a line? So they're going to do a break off for us. And I had, you guys can DM me, whatever. And they will look at us and give us some, because it's good to stand next to other Fit Model Pros and see where you're lining up, see how the conditioning, they adjusted Liz's pose.
It changed my entire front pose because
So,
and I think Emily kind of noticed this when I was up there in Vegas. I was posing very straight and I'm very broad to pose that straight on. And so Mike was like, mm-mm. And then he adjusted me and Jack and Becca Sizemore, Steve Payne, all of them were like, yeah, that's way better. But I wouldn't have
Yeah.
known that had I not been in a lineup. I probably would have gone on stage and massaged and started posing dead on, and then had to make that adjustments after the show. So
Yeah, and feedback can be, someone asked, if is feedback physique based or posing or all of the above. All of the above, you can just
anything.
ask them. Just ask them, because Liz was feedback was like, hey, stop training your back so much, and she's like, okay,
And I
cool.
even showed Jack like a video from Junior USA. So I was like, well, here's what I look like here, you know. So now he has like multiple reference points. But you don't ever get to a point where you're not getting feedback. You know, like there's always something, and it changes show to show. Like Lindsay said, like at one show it might be, hey, you're posing too forward here, but at the next show, like it might need to be adjusted for that. It just
Oh,
depends on the lineup.
I have to say something. So I watched a video, someone broke down my posing, and they're like, the one thing I don't like are her earrings. They look like grandma
I did
earrings.
see
Oh,
that, and I
I
was kind of
saw
like,
that.
So
okay.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna change my earrings. So I have a new like a glam thing that I'm
She's
gonna
like,
do. I have different earrings,
she's like,
anyways, but
oh,
I'm like, okay, I like that. I can work on that. They gave me something to do. I love it.
But I
yeah.
like
And
I didn't
like
notice your
that.
earrings, but you know.
I did
But
see
now I'm
that
like,
feedback. I did see that. And you know what? And that's okay. And that's okay. So sometimes we have to like, we take it, we get kind of mad for a minute. We're like, hey. And then we're like, oh, you know
Yeah,
what?
they're right.
You know what? Maybe they were right,
Yeah.
because someone said something on one of my Reddit pictures, and they're like, they're like, oh, deep in the off season, they're like, you need better waist control. And I'm like thinking, bro, I'm eating like crazy amount of food right now. But then I was thinking, oh, I'm just standing here like when I have my small waist. I don't have my small waist right now, so I'm like, I should probably pull that in a little bit.
And my kind of thing is like
It
if
was okay.
someone sees it, you know what I mean? Like if anyone's even a random spectator. So like this last weekend, my mom made a comment about Manuel's posing, and she's like she's really fidgety in his posing. My mom kind of follows bodybuilding for us,
Yeah.
but she's not like a spectator, you know? And so it's like if somebody like my mom notices that, how many other people saw that who maybe didn't take time to put it into your feedback, like something like earrings, you know what I mean? But like maybe it did catch their eye, you know, you don't know. So take everything with a grain of salt. Social media can take stuff and run with it sometimes,
Yeah.
but there is also, you know, like it's also valuable. You just have to know how to take it and take a step back and digest it sometimes, because
Yes.
our first instinct's always to defend ourselves, you know, but you just have to kind of take it and analyze for a second.
Yeah, and then apply it to, and ask maybe people you trust that will tell you the truth too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you should have people that you confide in, and someone that will be honest with you. And I feel like any of us would be honest with you guys. Like if you DM us and ask us that question, I'm gonna always be straight up. I don't sugarcoat anything.
Yeah, please do not ask me if you do not want an actual
Yeah.
answer.
We have decided we're
I,
no longer doing any post-show reviews. We'll do wrap-ups after the shows that we compete in, but we're not going to take and do a breakdown like we did for Japan. It
no.
was a one-time thing. We're just reminding everyone. I know y'all liked it, but we are friends with everyone, and it's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
no,
Because you feel
so
like you have
Swan,
to.
are you also doing Wasatch?
I'm only doing girl power, but Swan, yes, Swan's doing Wasatch. Liz is doing Wasatch,
Wow, that's gonna be a big one. I'm
and then
I'm so
excited. I
excited.
am so
and
excited
then
for
we'll
that
do the
one.
wrap-up. But I think we're going to do the wrap-up after I do girl power. I think that's what we're going
Yeah,
to do.
we can do like a double, you know.
Yeah, we'll just chill out. We'll do like, I think we'll just do like a, hey guys, like we're alive. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we're not gonna
We
do like,
survived.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to put too much pressure on myself on peak week. So
And
like,
wrap actually get feedback from the competitors too that we can talk about post show.
yeah,
I think that'll be better.
yeah. But we are at an hour. I always like to cut it off at an hour. Thank you guys for coming on. I didn't get to the questions here, but I did save them. So our next one we will do more questions. And Emily, girl, you're always welcome to come back on.
Thank you. I'm
We
so
know you're like,
excited to watch you guys and the journeys. It's gonna be awesome. So
well, we should have you come on our wrap up
I
actually.
was gonna
Like,
say you should throw Emily on so then we have like a neutral party, you know.
Yeah.
ooh, I'd
And
yeah.
love
she has
to.
dark hair, so she fits in. It
Yeah, I
makes
think you
sense.
fit it. We are called the Three Black Cats, Emily. I know you've been busy, so we're trying to catch you up, but we're called the Three Black Cats.
I love it. I'm here for it. Yes, I
You
would
could
love
be
to.
our fourth special black cat that comes in and helps us with our wrap ups.
Our future Olympian black cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, because that would be awesome. Because I think it would be good because it'll be before Pittsburgh, and then we're all gonna hang out in Pittsburgh.
That's gonna be so
Yes.
much fun.
Are you guys doing New York?
I'm not.
No, it's my daughter's fifth birthday, so
Okay.
no
I
big deal.
need girls to do it. Like, come on.
Oh, there's quite a few girls I think doing
Okay.
it. Shannon, she's doing it. She went pro in masters at North Americans. And Emma from
Yeah,
Wolfpack's
Emma's
doing
doing
it.
it. Yeah.
Okay,
And
so that'll
then
be a good one. Yeah. But I'll see you guys
yeah,
at Pittsburgh.
Larissa's gonna do New York. I'm excited to see
Larissa,
her on stage.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm excited too.
Carol's doing
Yeah,
New York. I think a lot of the girls in the Northeast are gonna do it, which is
yeah.
great.
Well, and like kind of your plan of like just being out there because they're like what, like 3 hour drive from New York to Pittsburgh. It's so close that it's kind of like
Yeah.
I know
if
it's
you're
right
coming all the
there.
way here,
So
you might as well just stay for Pittsburgh too.
Yeah, I think it's a great because I think like most people are doing Pittsburgh and it's part of history. So like I think
Just
we're all
got
like,
to.
okay, I think we're all just gonna go do it. And we're like,
Yeah,
whatever. I mean, I don't know. Like obviously we're all still competitive, we'll still be in our mindsets, but I think we're just kind of like, okay, we're doing that show. It's a
just
little
for
scary
the
for
fun.
me, but it's okay.
Oh, I'm terrified, but
I think we're all kind of
I'm
feeling that
vibing.
way, like, oh, that's like the second biggest show from Olympia, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll just be crying backstage together, like nervous, and then we'll all
yeah,
start smelling the tan.
I'll bring a candle for
We'll
all
be
of us.
wafting, wafting the protan or something.
Yes. New York Pro is the weekend before Pittsburgh. It's, what
May
is it,
10th.
Emily?
The
10th?
ninth.
It's
9th?
the
Yeah.
same weekend as Memphis, so.
Yeah, and my daughter's birthday is the 11th,
On
so
May 9th, Lindsay
Oh,
Library with the
yeah.
sorry
date.
guys. Good night.
And then Pittsburgh is us girlies are on Sunday, the 18th.
Yes.
Yeah, we're Sunday. I looked at the schedule because I already got tickets for my husband. So, and then I'm doing I'm doing Masters Miami Pro, you guys. I can't wait.
I wish they had open because the judging panel is really
That judging
good.
panel, Tyler's judging, so I'm like, see you again, Tyler.
Yeah,
Give me my
I'll be there.
feedback. I'm doing that show no matter what because I was on Pro Bikini News Network interview, whatever, and he's like, so just say like you did qualify, before, like, are you just gonna shut it down? I'm like, bro, I'm doing Miami Pro no matter what because it's like more stage time and feedback. I'm not blocking anybody. I'm a Masters, like it's just Masters. I kind of just want to go and do that. Like I think it sounds fun.
Yeah. Well, I also feel like the whole like blocking situation is interesting
I
because
know,
it's kind of
like,
like you're gonna have to stand next to that person if you make it to Olympia anyway,
yeah,
So
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't love that whole like they're blocking me. In this year I can understand because there's so few
yeah,
qualifications. But when I hear that in, like bikini and men's physique, I'm like, hey, there's like 80 shows. Like they're not
yeah,
really blocking
Exactly.
anything.
Exactly. Yeah. After
yeah.
the Olympia, I already have at least 4 shows. Well, and there some more are local now too. We have
I
two
Yeah,
in Vegas.
saw.
So of course I want to do the
why
hometown
not?
ones. Yeah, but I'm like gonna try to do the ones that make sense for me after Olympia because there's gonna be, I think, a lot more opportunities. And plus, when
Yeah.
these promoters see how many fit models it's bringing
Yes,
in, they're gonna be more and more shows. Absolutely.
I
I'm
agree.
sure
And
that Japan live stream did numbers like they've never
oh
seen
yeah.
before. I personally have never purchased a live stream before, but like for that one, like so like that just like tells you the people that brought it out of the woodworks. I was like, take my freaking card. I'm
She
not
was
missing
doing it
this.
on our live. I'm like, girl, why didn't you
I
buy
was
before? And she's
panicking.
like,
I couldn't get it, and then they started announcing stuff. And I was like, oh my god.
And then everything is too, so it's
I
just hard.
was
You're
like
like, where am I?
sending her text messages on the, I'm like on the live sending text
I was
messages and like, go to
stressed.
this link. I'm like, what, why didn't you buy this earlier? What were you doing all
I was
day?
working.
I was working.
We were a lot. We have way too much fun with everything, that's for sure. But well, thanks again, you guys, and I will save this and put it on YouTube so you guys can watch it in cardio, which is always the best. And this will be on our page, and we'll collab with our Pro Chat Instagram. We don't go live on there though because we don't have enough followers, and it just doesn't make sense. So that's why we don't go on there. But it's there
It's
for
getting
like.
there. It's
It's
getting
there
there.
for clips. I'm clipping our little videos, so that'll be fun. I'll clip this one when I post it, and yeah, thank you guys again. I'm glad you love them. We will have more content coming. We have a bunch of subjects that we have like planned out, and the Arn. Oh, we didn't talk about the Arnold. Oh my God, hold up. That was part of today. So Sage won a pro card.
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh,
my
we won
god.
that. Okay,
So
sorry,
sorry,
Sage.
Sage.
Hold up. So Sage looked beautiful, great stage presence, great conditioning, and great shape, beauty factor.
Posing.
But what did you guys think?
Well,
I
I
loved
loved
it.
it. I love her fit model look. And I just want to say real quick, I saw her after the Amateur Olympia and she was like, I don't know, they told me to go back to bikini. And I was like, no, you are fit model. I don't care. Like, I don't care what they said. You are fit model. You just need to figure that out. Come in softer, whatever. And man, on the freaking money with the conditioning, her suit coverage, she had proper suit coverage, her stage presence, her glam, all that's always on point, so I was very, very happy with it.
Yes.
I think she came in with a fuller package too.
Yes.
Yes.
It looks fuller.
They're coming in fuller than what she's used to.
And it looked really nice.
Yeah,
And it's weird. It's weird when you're fuller, not used to being full, because I
yeah.
like kind of feel that way. I'm like, wait, am I gonna feel like I feel kind of like I'm gonna be fat on stage? And I'm like, but I don't look fat, but it is weird, you know, trying to like, because like Emily, obviously you did bikini lighter, and you're like, you were 110 by the time you competed on your show day or whatever, right after the 106 drop, but
Yeah.
like, but you're like, this is, it's still different, it's different than that bikini weight where you're like, shrunken in, and you're like this, right? And you're like, oh, I'm coming in fuller, a little bit bigger, and it's weird, but I'm proud of her for doing that. And yeah, great job. Welcome to the Pro League, and congratulations again. So now I'll wrap up. I'm so sorry. I realized that when I'm talking about topics. I'm like, oh, that was the topic. So, because I was going to say, Liz was so busy with the Arnold last week, we had a delayed
Yeah.
live.
Dude,
So.
Liz, congrats to you. Like your man, and I know how
Oh, man.
stressful that is. And you, I know, are doing so much for your partner in that time. So kudos to you and congratulations to you, like yourself, because I know just being the spouse in that situation, from what I've seen Stan go through with me and what I've been through with Stan, sometimes the congratulations are dismissed to the person competing, but I know you've done a lot of behind the scenes just being that support. So
Thank you.
congrats
Yeah.
to you, because
We
I
talked
saw you
about it a
putting on
little
the
bit.
tan and I saw a lot of things,
Girl, I
and
think my hands are still sticking.
Yes, it's amazing watching you guys do that. So I agree. Congrats. But, we talked about that, and it's awesome. You guys are going to the UK next. So
Yeah,
that's
we
going
just
to be
booked our
exciting.
flights last night. So
go
it's
get
in
it.
like Birmingham, UK. So it's kind of like not the fun UK. I don't know. We like had like a layover option in Dublin that we almost did, but then we were like, we can't like go out. We can't do
Yeah.
anything. We're like, oh, never mind. We'll just go back home. But I think it'll be very fun regardless.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't hear Emily. Oh, I think she froze. Oh, there she is. You froze for a
I was
second.
gonna say, like, maybe you can have like a shepherd's pie at least or
Oh,
something,
shepherd's pie.
I'm
I
like,
love
wait, what is
shepherd's
that?
pie. I love shepherd's pie. All right, ladies. Well, we're going to wrap this up, and I will save this. Thank you again, and I'll chat with y'all soon.
Right,
Bye.
such a.
Bye.